What is up? My name is Casey Budge, and this is an apartment edition of Western Sounds. I have my very special guest, Lane Johnson, on here with me today. How's it going, Lane?
Doing pretty good.
Oh, that's good. Well, today we're going to start off with a little bit of news. Zach Bryan was nominated for a Grammy, further proving the incompetence of the CMAs. Our artist that we're talking about today was also never nominated for a CMA, but has won several Grammys. She is
Sarah Jaros.
and we do apologize if we're saying your name wrong, Sarah, if you watch this. Uh, we love you. Your music is amazing, and we're very sorry if we're saying your name wrong.
hmm
All right, Lane, well, you brought me this artist, so tell me all about her.
Okay, so Sarah's from Texas, and she is a four-time Grammy Award winner and 10-time nominee at the age of 30. Um, at 18 years old, she released a full-length debut song Up in Her Head, and she's also a part of I want to call it trio, but I guess it's called a band. I'm with her, and they're very acoustic. They all play their own instruments, and in Sarah's song, she plays most of her instruments as well, and she's super bluegrassy and folksy.
That's awesome. What is one thing about her that really drew you to her musically? What is something?
Hmm, you're testing me. Um, well, I really enjoy how she harmonizes, like with herself, and also when I play her music, her chords are very interesting. Like I've never seen them in any other song. She chooses so many different harmonies and melodies to go with her songs that they all just kind of blend and they seem weird at first, but it goes together.
Fair enough. What is something about her that what's a lyric of hers that you just absolutely love?
Hmm. Um, well, my favorite song from her is actually Build Me Up from Bones, and trying to remember the lyrics right now is a little difficult. So, um, I guess in the chorus when it's just Build Me Up from Bones on that little part, the chords on it for what I've found are very interesting.
That's awesome. Yeah, she's really an interesting case because she, like I said in our intro, she has won several Grammy titles and yet she doesn't get played on mainstream country music radio and she doesn't get a lot of recognition for it. But she's won several Grammys and has been nominated many more times than that. It's just mind-boggling to me how like mainstream country media doesn't follow these artists who are so incredibly amazing. But I guess I shouldn't be surprised with that because the Lord and Savior of Western Sounds podcast, Zach Bryan, was not nominated for a CMA, and he is the biggest thing to happen in country music since Waylon Willie and the Boys.
The only reason I actually found Sarah was on the Apple Music like playlist thingy.
Mm-hmm.
She was in the bluegrass section, and she was like a whole bunch of these old bluegrass folksy songs are going, and then hers pops up, and
Yeah,
that's how I found her.
yeah. Apple Music is fire at actually finding like new artists that you want to listen to because they will put like I listen to this one pot or playlist a lot and it has all of the Texas artists on it and like you'll get a lot of like so and like some of the same like you'll get a lot of Midland and you'll get a lot of Flatland, you'll get a lot of others, but you'll also get some really cool others. And that's how I found Whiskey Outlaws, and that's how I found even though they're not from Texas, they were on that playlist. But that's how I found Treaty Oak Revival, who are awesome. Go check out the last episode if you haven't seen it already or listened to it already. They are awesome and they're fun to talk to. I look forward to talking to them a little bit more in a future episode. More to come on that later.
Another great place to find them is I found the Western, it's called Western AF on YouTube, and I don't know if they have any other platforms, but that's where I found them. But I find a lot of very nice bluegrass, folksy mix between Zach Bryan and Sarah. Like, they kind of just go together.
Or if you're just listening to this podcast, continue because we will continue to cover great country artists who don't get covered by the mainstream media right here on Western Sounds.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're going to move on for talking to about her for a little bit and talk a little bit about um, Yellowstone. So Lane is a native Montanan, and so her love-hate relationship with Montana is built in. Um, the new season dropped and we're a little bit behind, but we're catching back up. So tell me what you think about season 1 of Yellowstone, or I mean, episode 1,
Season one.
season 5, episode 1 of Yellowstone.
Well, I like season 5 start off like when can I spoil some of this?
Yeah. This is full spoilers.
Got it. When John becomes governor and he starts talking about changing Montana so it becomes more of traditional ways, definitely relate back to that because back home in the mountain areas, especially where there's plenty of good farmland, plenty of good rangeland, it's all turning into industrialized stuff. And it's basically taking the roots of Montana and uprooting them, I guess, because they're moving in new stuff, kicking out the farmers and ranchers. So, I mean, when that part came on, I definitely relate to that because it's starting to spread throughout into the small rural communities of Montana. And I don't know, it just, that whole episode kind of, it all went together with that.
In the words of John Denton, I am not progress. I am the wall that it bashes against, and the South will rise again.
And then Jamie says, this is going to set us back 30 years.
It's fine. We're all going to
Who cares
prison.
about Jamie? Yep. I really do not like the ending of that episode. It makes me very sad.
Yeah,
Though.
it's super sad. If you haven't seen it, Casey's
We're
wife
not going to
who's
spoil that.
yes, we are.
No,
This is a full
no, they
spoiler.
have. No, they gotta watch it.
Okay, well, it's super sad. And it ends with this really poignant shot of Jamie looking at John, who's looking at Casey, and it's a really poetic kind of thing because they're all separated by something, and it's telling about how they're feeling in that moment because they all want to be there for each other and they all want to help each other, but there's something separating each of one of them from each other, and it's a really cool way to do it. Taylor Sheridan continues to show us why he is a genius, a masterful producer and director, and I cannot wait for more.
I can't wait for the new show 4/6 to come out.
Oh yeah, and if you guys haven't watched 1883, you definitely need to watch it because uh, if you haven't, there's a heavy hint that Taylor Sheridan is going to do another spinoff off of that show into some sort of Johnson County War show because one of the main players in like the last 2 episodes is the Wyoming Stock Growers Association. And if you don't know anything about the Wyoming Stock Growers Association, listen to season 3 of Western Sounds coming out sometime next year because I'm doing a whole season all about Wyoming and Western music. And Chris and Ned Ledoux both have songs put out about the Johnson County War, and I will dive deep into that in those episodes. But anyway, he hints about the Johnson County War coming up. After that little bit of Yellowstone talking, we are going to move into our shuffle. Now, Lane, do you want to explain what the shuffle is for our very nice guests?
Well, I didn't really do the shuffle because my phone's currently sitting in the kitchen.
Well, go get your phone, you goof.
You did it. You're closer.
No, it has to go to you.
Oh my god. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Travel.
Yes. Lane, you were supposed to do it.
Sorry, I forgot. This was whatever. Give me a moment. Gotta fix the hair. I think you should explain the shuffle while I figure mine out.
To all of our YouTube viewers, this part won't be included in the audio podcast, but this is a bonus content. Um, Lane was supposed to listen to all of the songs and do it while I was in Walmart today, but she did not.
I got distracted, okay? In my defense, I was listening to good music.
Yeah, hey, I will never argue with you for listening to good music. I just have to tease you.
Question.
Yes, ask
What
away.
is this picture supposed to mean?
Well, those are the songs, Lane.
Oh,
Yeah, it starts at um Don't Take Your Gun to Town and then goes down to Angel Band. So
okay.
the second picture is really first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You're confusing.
sorry.
Okay, explain while I figure this out.
Well, are you gonna have enough time?
Yes, I'm fine.
Because I don't want to have to do two cuts while I'm editing.
Do it.
Shuffle is where we take my phone, I set it on shuffle, and the first 10 songs that come on, we rank from worst to best. Uh, I will start off with my worst song on the list, which is Tied Together with a Tile or Smile by Taylor Swift. I don't think this is one of her better songs. It's off of a good album, but I really don't enjoy this song. What's your 10th place song, Lane?
It's the Taylor Swift one.
Yeah, it's really just not that
I
good.
can't.
And I think that your next one is probably going to be the same as mine. Johnny Cash, Don't Take Your Guns to Town.
Yeah, I really like Johnny Cash, but I didn't really enjoy that song. That's
I
not particularly my favorite.
like I really like Johnny Cash and I really like different versions of that song, but I just don't feel like they clash. It's kind of like the Twang song. Have you ever heard the Twang album by George Strait?
Yes.
It is far and away the worst album that George ever put out. It is terrible. I love George Strait. I love 98% of his music, but this one album is just awful. Like I don't know what happened. I don't know if he got too cocky and was like, I can't put out good music. And they're like, you want to bet? And so he did, and it was
Or
terrible. Or
or he was in a writer's block and he just needed to put something out because he promised the people something.
that could have been it too. That was probably definitely a possibility. The next song up on the list is The Hawk by Ned Ledoux. And I love the meaning behind this song. I know. I love it. I love it when it's live, but his recording of this song just makes me want to fall asleep. Like Ned is so good live. He's amazing live. He sounds just like his dad when he's live. But this song just I cannot get behind the recording that he did. Like he has other live recordings of this song out on Spotify that are way better, but the Apple Music version of this song is not good. What's your
My next one is Sam by Sturgill Simpson. Just because I don't know it that well. Okay, I would probably place it higher if I knew it better. Look at me. Yeah, keep looking at me like that.
uh my next song is Feeling It by I know, I know, I know, I know. It's a good song. It's a bop, but it got way overplayed. And I just personally that really brings the song down. What's yours next?
Reckless,
You're
Aaron
wrong.
Watson.
You're wrong.
No,
And
no.
you're wrong. And let me tell
I
you why.
okay. Shh. I like Aaron Watson, but when you played that song for me, I was like, hmm.
It just wasn't what you were expecting. That's all.
It's just not it for me.
Fair enough. The next
Yeah.
song that I have on there is Wishful Drinking by Casey Donahue. What's your next?
I'm kind of deciphering. I'm pretty. This is a hard one. Why are these so hard, Casey?
I know
You picked hard ones
they
this
get a
week.
lot harder towards the top of the
Oh,
I didn't pick anything. That was Shuffle that picked all of these.
you know, I feel like Feeling It should go right there. I just feel like that one should go right there. I like that song a lot, but yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And we're getting in the top half of the list, so that's a fair place to put it. I just don't really like it
Mhm.
all that much. The next one that I have up is The One You Know. And I really do like this song. Um, it's got a lot of lyrical significance. It is a really fun song to listen to, but it doesn't stack up with the rest of the songs on this list, in my opinion.
I put Wishful Drinking next.
Wishful Drinking is a bop as well, but I don't feel like it um holds up to this song just because I feel like this song is a little bit more musically interesting than Wishful Drinking.
Mm, I put that one next though. I put The One You Know
Yeah.
above
Um,
Wishful Drinking.
I put Angel Band next. And I love Angel Band. It is a great song, but it again just doesn't stack up to like the next four songs. The next four songs are so good in my opinion. Angel Band is a good song, but one of the weaker songs off of Tyler's new album, in my opinion.
Well, I already said my next one's The One You Know, so you have to go again.
All right. My next song is Reckless, or I'm excuse me, Sleeping Alone by um, Flatland. And Sleeping Alone is an absolute bop, don't get me wrong. But the next three just top it in every way for me.
I put Mountain Song next by Flatland.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can see that. It's not really as much your style of song, but as you will soon see, it is very much my style of song. Might have
I'm
just
well
given away,
aware.
might have just given away my next ones. Um, did I already say Reckless is my next one?
No,
Yeah.
you're
Reckless is my
you're
next
no.
one. Um, the tempo, the hype of this song, like it just gets me going whenever I listen to it. It is such a fun song. It's such a good song. Um, like anyone who had a high school romance or anything like that will understand this song. It's just how it goes.
I have my next one as The Hawk.
The Hawk is good. It's a good song. Don't get me wrong. It's a great song. I love that song. I love the significance. I love the meaning of it. I just don't think that he did a good job recording it there.
I just like it because I was forced to listen to it in a tractor for like 3 hours, and then I went to concert. So yeah.
Yeah, I love
Mhm.
Ned. He's a great guy, incredible musician. He just didn't do a good job recording that, and I wish that he would re-record it or do something or do a different version of it or something, because I really do enjoy it. Next up, and my number two song, I have Sam, and Sam is off of Serge's um kind of experimental album where he did a story album about this uh, hunter tracker, and he did like a bunch of songs all kind of linked together that were in a story, and I really enjoy it. I really like the way that this all lays out. And if you've ever owned a good dog, you know that the way that this song makes you feel is so true. Like it gives me goosebumps every time.
I think the only reason I put that one down lower is because I only know the one part of the song that was from TikTok, and that's about it.
Well, a good dog on the ground's worth three in the
Yeah.
saddle. No matter where you're from, been a many
Yeah.
good dog, been a friend to a man, but Sam is the greatest one. He is the hound of hounds. He is the wonder of all walkers. He loved howling at the
Anyways,
moon. He loved treeing that raccoon. Most of all, he was my best friend, and he's gone too soon.
are you done?
For now, yes.
Okay.
My number one song
What?
from the
No,
shuffle.
I haven't even done my number
Do your
two.
number two song.
I put Angel Band as my number two song.
Band's pop.
Hmm.
I feel like any of my top five or six could have been swapped around because this was such a good week. It was a really tough top five on this one.
Besides T Swift.
Yeah, yeah. Like the bottom two, not the best, but the rest were really good, honestly. And my number one, as we know, is Mountain Song. Mountain Song is a great song. It was one of the singles that they released Flatland released off before they released their new EP, Songs to Keep You Warm. It's just such a feel good song if you grew up in the mountains. I know that you're absolutely going to love it. And moving on from that, we have our next little segment that we're doing.
I didn't even get to say my number one.
You don't get to say it, number one. Okay, go ahead. Fine.
I do too. God. Mine is Sleeping Alone by Flatland because I have a personal connection to it. So,
Fair enough. That'll happen.
you were gonna skip over me. God.
I thought about it. Well, we're introducing a new segment today, and in the spirit of giving women their fair share and letting women have their due, unlike what I did to Lane there, we are doing a draft today. And the theme of the draft today is women in country music. So we are going to draft our top 5 picks for women in country music. Lane, since you are a lady, you get to go first today.
Do I say all 5?
Nope. So you draft your first one.
No specific order.
Nope. You have to pick
No,
one.
I don't want to do specific order. That's
Well,
hard for me.
well, you just draft your number one pick, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, my number one. God, that's even hard for me too. There's so many good ones. Um, oh, probably Casey Musgrave since I listen to her music the most and I'm inspired by her most.
That'll definitely happen. My first round pick in the 2022 Women in Country Music Draft is drumroll, please. Caitlin Butts. Caitlin Butts had a huge year this year. She got on the Grand Ole Opry. She sang several songs with Flatland, one of which got included on her new album, Sad Yeehaw Sessions. She is such a cool lady, and she has really moved up in the world. She released 2 albums this year. One was an EP, the Sad Yeehaw Sessions, and one was the one that I have hanging up in my room, which I cannot remember the name of. Lane, will you look up on the wall and tell me what the Casey or Caitlin Butts that I have on my wall is?
What else can she do?
Yeah, that one. She is incredible, and she is just such a cool lady. What is your number 2 pick, Lane?
It's so hard, Casey. It's so hard. I think I'm gonna put Kat Hasty because she's also another big inspiration, and I really enjoy how kind of morbid some of her music is. So
Fair enough. At my number 2, women in country music, I'm going to take Haley Witters. She is another young lady who is having a heck of a year. She had 2 amazing songs go absolutely viral on TikTok, and she is also doing amazing things in she is working on a Christmas album at the moment, I do believe. She's put out 2 singles uh, that are Christmas songs that I believe are going on a Christmas album. What's your number 3 pick, Lane?
Lainey Wilson, who is actually in season 5, episode 1
You
of
almost did
Yellowstone.
it.
I caught myself before I said it. But she's in Yellowstone and from what I've been following on social media is that she's gonna keep appearing in Yellowstone.
Yeah, I think she's
Hopefully.
supposed to be a reoccurring character of some sort.
She also was it a CMA, couple CMAs that she won?
Yeah, I think so.
I yeah.
Which
She got some of those this year, which is very nice. Very, very good. Um so yeah.
fair enough. Um, well, now it gets a little bit harder because I've used my 2 that I love from this year, my 2 that are absolutely essential. They have to be on your list. Now I kind of have to, I'm gonna move back a little bit, and you can't do have a good lineup without a seasoned veteran on your lineup. So I'm going to reach back in my roster, and I'm gonna pick the OG Dolly.
Heck yeah.
You have to have a seasoned veteran.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I'm not like that though. I like the newer people.
All right. Well, who do you have next?
I'm well, so Morgan Wade is hard to place in country, but I'm placing her in country
No, no,
because
she's country.
she
We'll take
appears
her.
on the highway and Sirius XM stuff. So I mean, I accept her, but yeah, she's my number. What are we on, 3?
Yeah, 3 or 4.
We're on 3.
Okay. So this will be number. So you just did your number 3?
Yep.
No, I just did Dolly was my number 3.
Well,
So
then
that
my number 3 is Morgan Wade. So you're number 4.
okay. Well, you picked first. So that was your number 4.
No.
Yes.
Dang it.
I know that's why this is hard. That's why this is tough.
You know how many times I've scrolled through my playlist?
I know. I'm looking through right now. Oh man. Oh, my timer's getting a little bit low on my pick. Um, whew. And this really is tough because I personally listen to a lot of men in country music. It's not as many women for me. Um, but man, this is tricky. I love a lot of women in country music, but it's hard to pick one that I love as much as the others. You know what? I'm gonna go with another OG, Miranda Lambert, just because I feel like I need an enforcer on my team. Someone who isn't afraid to just absolutely wallop the snot out of anyone else.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And I feel like Dolly and Miranda would be a powerful combination.
Oh, they'd be such a dynamic duo.
Hmm.
Okay, my 5th one, and I wish I had 2 more because I really could use 2 more. But Sarah Jarosz, who our episode's about, because she's a freaking boss.
Fair enough. She is pretty dang good. Okay, I'm going to do one that may be a little bit less well known. They're a group technically, but I'm going to go ahead and pick Ragland because their lead singer is a woman. And Ragland is an up and coming kind of group. They're from Texas and they're phenomenal. If you haven't heard of them, make sure you go check them out. They have a new single out pretty recently. What Happened, Mama? It's really good. I have been meaning to talk about it a little bit more, but there you are. There is our draft of the top women in country music. If you are listening on Spotify or go to Twitter or Instagram, you will find polls and you will vote as to who won this draft. So be sure to go check those out after this episode drops. Thank you guys so much for listening. And Lane, don't you have a surprise playlist for us?
Oh, yeah, I do actually. I've created a playlist that has Sarah Jaros and the band I'm with her in it, and then a few other people that I feel like are really close knit to Sarah and that are the bluegrass folksy vibes that everyone needs in their life.
And if you're listening to this episode as it comes out, then it will be live on Spotify. What is that playlist called, Lane?
You know, uh,
It
I
has to
don't know.
it has to include Western sounds.
Why don't you come up with a name, Casey?
Western sounds women part 1. Exclamation point.
Bluegrass women.
Western sounds bluegrass women.
Thank you.
All right. Perfect. There is our surprise playlist. Thank you guys so much for listening. Be sure to check us out anywhere pods are cast. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all at Western Sounds. Be sure to follow Lane Johnson on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and be sure to follow her blog page, whatever it is.
Western Winds, the
Yes.
blog.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know what it exactly it was, if it was a blog or what.
It's a blog.
Okay. But that is on Instagram, Facebook, and it has a website too now.
And Twitter.
And a Twitter. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. I really appreciate any feedback or anything on this. And thank you. Have a good night. We're Western Sounds. We listen to bad music, so you don't have to. Come again.